It's your boy Uncle Fred, and look who I got to my right. Look who I got. It's TK. I couldn't find him. Then he showed up,
Yeah.
and he back with me as we do this final NFL regular season pick'em show for Week 18. TK, how you doing, man?
Uh, Good, man. I'm in good spirits. Uh, Glad we could link up for this one last ride for the season, man. So let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so after just a little break here, we're gonna come back and you're gonna get a treat. TK and your boy Uncle Fred finna pick these final games for this week 18. They got playoff implications. There's a game on right now with playoff implications. There's more games to come. And we're going to talk about here in just a minute. Y'all hang tight.
Two times on the
Again, what's good, people? Please hit that like, that comment, and that subscribe button, please. Become a part of Uncle Fred's sports experience. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. As I said, it's week 18, the last week of the NFL season. Teams are jockeying and elbowing for that playoff position. Uh, and the games mean something. The NFL a couple of years ago changed the scheduling. So if you'll notice, all the last like two games of the season are always division rivals as they jockey for those positions. So I thought that was good that they did that so that, teams, but teams will still, if they got like enough leeway, they'll still sit players and stuff like that. And I don't blame them for doing that. But when the thing is close, and that's a division title up for grabs, or it's a playoff position up for grabs, and now you happen to be playing the team that you have to beat to get that said playoff spot.
Yeah.
That's what Roger Goodell that's what he was shooting for when he made that ruling. These are the situations he was looking for. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down, and let's see what we got. So right now, currently, the Steelers and the Ravens are playing right now. Started about like an hour and a half ago. And if I was gonna pick, I would have picked the Steelers for that because the Ravens are sitting everybody because it's like what you would want to do because they got like a 2-game lead over the rest of the teams in their division. I think the Browns got 11 wins. They got 13. So it's no benefit for them to play guys. So Steelers got to win. So they're playing anybody that's got a pulse, they bringing them in to play. So I would think the Steelers will win that game. So, but we got another game coming on in about an hour.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and look at that one. So you got the Houston Texans at Indianapolis playing the Colts. This is going to be an interesting game, man, because I think whoever wins this game, I think they get the playoffs. They get. I don't know if they get the division because still think Jacksonville is still in the running for the division too because they're playing the Titans. So the two teams are playing. Sets of teams are playing each other in the division. It just so happens these two are actually playing for a playoff spot, and the Titans aren't playing for a playoff spot. Sorry, man, I didn't have to say that. I wasn't trying to rub salt in the wound here. I really wasn't. But
it is what it is.
So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and pull up and anything you want to say about this game, I'm going to go ahead and pull up see what the injury report looks like, who's going to be playing, who's not. CJ Stroud's coming off a great rookie season. Probably he will be my rookie of the year, coming off of a 3,800 yard season, 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. It's coming off a good season here. So Houston really nobody, but it's really nobody because it's like all hands on deck. Indianapolis, Trey Sermon is inactive. It's one of the reserve running backs. So it looks like nobody really of any significance is missing for this game. TK, how you see this?
So I see it as a toss-up, but I want to pick the Rook on the road.
Houston's favored by 1.5.
Yeah, it's a trendy thing to pick the Texans, man. I know, but some reason I just got to swing Indy's way for some reason. I just got that feeling like we're just gonna pull it off at home. So
okay,
I'm a zig when everybody's zagging.
Okay, so you going Indy?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not upset with that pick. It's pretty much a pick 'em game. Let's see here. Houston is 9-7. They're both 9-7, so they both got the exact same record.
Yeah.
So whoever wins this game is 10-7. I don't know if they win the division or they just get a playoff spot. I think that's all to be determined after the dust.
Well, they clinch a playoff spot, and then if Jacksonville were to lose tomorrow, then they would win the division. The winner of the game would win the division as well. So
yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay.
A lot of stakes on this game.
A lot of stakes at this game. I'm gonna go the other way on this one for the simple fact I think Houston. I think they've played well all season. I like the offense that they run. I like the way C.J. Stroud has played. I know they've got a couple of injuries. I know that Tank Dell is missing. They still got Nico Collins. They still got some other players. Singletary, a running back. I don't know if Damon Pierce is still. I didn't see him on the injury report, so I guess he's still a viable option. No, it's just something about Houston. It's something I can't put my finger on, but I've liked what they've done all season. And I know this is a tough place for a rookie to play on the road in a playoff, in a game where playoff implications are on the line. Mm-hmm. I know that's a big ask, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I think I trust C.J. Stroud more than I trust Minshew. So I'm gonna go with Houston, and just to see what happens. I just want to see what happens. I just think it would be good with a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach get a playoff spot. I think that would be a good story for the NFL. So I'm going with Houston. I'm going with the Houston Texans, going against conventional wisdom, but usually with these things, you go with the home team.
Mm-hmm.
Colts are playing at home. They got the veteran quarterback. Minshew's been in the league about 4 years or so.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got a wild hair. So they go with the upstarts. So I'm going with the upstarts. So I'm going with Houston. We'll see how it goes. But I got the Texans. So we'll go on to the next game. All right. So tomorrow, starting at noon, the NFL did something interesting this year. On this particular slate of games. See, last week they did something crazy. They had like 10 games at the 12 o'clock spot and only had like 3 at the 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock spot, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So they split it right down the middle. And I think they got 6 games at 12 o'clock noon and 6 games at 3 o'clock, and of course the one game is at 7, which is the nightcap, which is the last game of the regular season. So at the 12 o'clock slot, we're going to have 6 games. So the first game we're going to talk about here is going to be starting in the NFC. We're seeing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. Again, a divisional roundup. Those 2 teams will play. Then the other two teams in the division will play. This one don't need a whole lot of verbiage. Carolina's been terrible. What are they? 2-12.
Yeah, it's bad.
2-12. I think they snuck out and got a win the other day from the Falcons. I think they beat the Falcons.
No, they did just beat somebody. Who they beat? Sheesh.
Yeah, I think it was the Falcons, man. If I'm
It
not
was
mistaken.
the Falcons. You right. Freaking Falcons lost.
Yeah, losing games, lost games to the Texans. I mean, lost a game to the Titans that they shouldn't have lost to the Bears where they shouldn't have lost, and lost to the Carolina Panthers that they shouldn't have lost. So they're not in the playoffs because of them. It's game they should have won. The teams they got more talent than, and they just didn't win them. And but yeah, Carolina. They are 2-12, 2-14. I'm sorry, 2-14. Goodness gracious, that's stinky right there. 2-12, 2-14. Buccaneers are 8-8. Think I'm not sure whether or not Baker Mayfield's going to play or not. He's having a good season: 3,907 yards, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's a good, solid season for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
solid. That's a good season for him. Of course, Mike Evans, 76 catches, 1,203 yards, and leading the league with 13 touchdown passes, receiving touchdowns. I know. Baker Mayfield had a shoulder thing last week that I heard, because he had that shoulder thing when he's playing with Cleveland a couple of years ago, and I think he kind of got something going on with that. But he's not listed on the injury report, so I have to believe he's going to play. Okay, so to what degree he's going to play, I don't know. What percentage he's going to be, but then again, you'd have to ask yourself, what level does he have to sink to where he can't beat the Carolina Panthers, right? I mean, not trying to be disrespectful, but they're not good. They're just not. They're just not. But anyway, I got the Buccaneers. I got them going 9-8, and then they'll probably be one of the teams that I would put in the thing in the vat that would win that division. So I got Tampa Bay winning that, and I say Carolina going to 2-15, which is terrible. It's a terrible record, but that's got a whole bunch of guys fired, and they're going to start up with stuff. Of course, now you're telling me there's a lot of fallout with that team. The owner throwing drinks on people and whatnot. It's not good. It's not good. Not good. But I got Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's Tampa, man, all the way.
Tampa all the way. All right, so we both got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they go 9-8, and then we'll go see what happens with the Saints and the Falcons in the other game. So
sure.
All right, so we'll see what happens there. All right, so that's the second 12 o'clock game. Our third 12 o'clock game, incidentally, the Tampa Bay is favored by 4.5. Probably don't think it's going to be that close. They're playing at Carolina, so the weather might be a factor. Probably might be snow, might be, so that might make the game a little closer than it might be, but we'll see what happens there. Okay, our third game here, we're jumping over to the AFC here. You got the Cleveland Browns going to Cincinnati, playing the Cincinnati Bengals. That's an interesting game because we know that the Cleveland Browns will probably be resting some players. And Cincinnati has nothing to play for because they've already been eliminated from playoff consideration. Okay, because they are 8-8, and because 8-8 in that division puts you in fourth place, which tells you how good that division is. You're last place, and if you win that game, all four teams will be over 500. Yeah. And I think Joe Flacco, who's played admirably. I mean, I guess I have to hang up those Joe Flacco comments I was making. I apologize, Joe. I didn't mean none of that, Joe. That's on me, man. I didn't know. I didn't know. He's played well in these like 4 games he's played with 13 touchdowns and like 4 or 5 games, 13 touchdowns and but he's thrown 8 interceptions in them handful of games. Think about this. In about 4 games, he's thrown as many picks as Dak has thrown the whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of.
He puts the ball in play, man. So sometimes you're gonna get a pick,
Yeah,
You're gonna get a pick.
a gamer, man. I like old Joe Flacco, man.
Yeah, Big Joe. Big Joe. Amari Cooper, 72 catches, 1,250 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Who loves Joe Flacco because he recorded the greatest game of his career a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, he did.
Like 13 catches for like 276 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he loves him some Joe Flacco.
Absolutely.
Looking on the injury report, it's going to be 41 degrees and partly cloudy. Okay, so it's not going to be a weather game. So let's see here. Injuries. Of course, Myles Garrett in this game. Myles Garrett's not playing. Mike Ford's a corner is not playing. Marquise Goodman is questionable. I don't see any other players here on that on the Bengals. T. Higgins is doubtful. Wouzier questionable. Jalen Davis is a corner is questionable. So, but I look for the Cleveland Browns because I didn't see Joe Flacco on there, but I wouldn't play him. I'd play the rookie. I put Dorian Thompson Robinson in there and not look back.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if it were me, because they don't have nothing to gain. They got 11 wins already. They're 11-5.
Yeah, they locked in where they're at. So yeah,
I think they're locked into the 5th spot. So,
so
I don't think they can. So Joe Flacco wouldn't be playing. Jerome Ford, I think that's his name, the running back, he wouldn't be playing. Amari Cooper wouldn't be playing. No other guy would be playing. I'll be trying to, rest up and everything because he's going to be playing next week. So it ain't like you got a week off. Cincinnati, like I said, they don't have nothing to play for. They got what's the kid's name from Washington? He's playing quarterback.
Browning.
Huh? Yeah, Jake Browning. So I think Cincinnati is favored because I think the people in Vegas know, even though they don't got guys on their injury report, that there's guys that's not going to be playing. Cincinnati is favored by a touchdown. So that tells you something. So I guess I got the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a meaningless game, man. So I would take the home team, and it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. So you got the Bengals. I got the Bengals. Browns have nothing to play for. They're in that 5th spot regardless. Get their guys rested up. Get everybody healed up. And let's get ready next week for one of those, whoever that last division winner is, whether it be Jacksonville or Houston or Indianapolis. That's probably who they're going to play. They'll have to go to that place. They'll have to go to Houston, to Jacksonville, to Indianapolis and play that game. So we'll see how that goes. But we both got Cincinnati. In a game, like you said, they're just playing. They're just running the string out. Nothing to see here, really. All right.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. The next game you got. This one's going to be interesting because you got the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions. Detroit's favored by 3.5. And you might think that Detroit don't have nothing to play for because they kind of lost the number 2 slot last week, sort of, in that game with the Cowboys. It kind of ended in controversial fashion on 2 fronts. Really, the refs had a bad game in that game. Really, it's a very much of a black eye for the ref. For all those people that says that the refs been trash all season, that was indication that the refs been trash all season. That game pretty much says it, and the league came forth and said that they were bad, and that team ain't gonna go to. members of that team ain't gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna go home at the end of the 16th game. They're going home, 17th game. They don't make the playoffs. They'll be cleaning their lockers out. They won't be playing they won't make the playoff roster. So Detroit lost that game, and so now but if we know anything about Dan Campbell, he ain't laying up jack. That dude's gonna fight until you'll be prying it from his cold dead fingers, as they say. So even though they probably not gonna improve their lot past the third slot, if the Cowboys lose tomorrow, which I'm not saying that they won't, and not saying that they will. I'm just saying in the event that does happen, the number 2 slot is in play for them. And they could very easily get that number 2 slot. So with that slim possibility in play, Dan Campbell's gonna go full guns blazing, man. So Lions favored by 3.5. Detroit's probably either starting Nick Mullins or Hall, which is a rookie. Either way, I don't think there's a very slim chance that the Vikings could go to the playoffs, but a lot of things got to happen. A lot of carry the ones and all this stuff got to happen for them to get in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, because I think both of the teams, I think either the Buccaneers and the one of those teams, I think the Buccaneers the Saints and the Falcons, I think have to tie, and I think the Buccaneers have to lose, and I think the Seattle Seahawks have to lose in order for them to get in, and that and I think Green Bay has to lose, and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of things I think have to go for the Minnesota Vikings to get in the playoffs. A lot of scenarios that I think are not likely to happen. So with all that being said, all that verbiage, all that stuff, I guess I got the Lions, but I think it should be a good game because I don't think the Vikings are going to lay it up on them. I think they're going to try to win it. I think they're going to put forth a very yeoman's effort, but I just think Detroit's a better team, and I think they'll just win it. So I got the Lions.
Yeah, I'm with you. Home team, man. They got something to play for.
Well,
consistent with the coach's identity. Yeah, man. They come out, they try to get it done, just leave themselves a chance, And I guess I would say I think their goal would kind of be like, can we go up here and like run it up, like 2 touchdown lead and then yank our guys, and I guess that would be ideal for them. Well, for most teams that are in that situation, because you're risking injury, and I mean, we see it every year, but just last week with the Bradley Chubb thing, it's like,
yeah, that's tough. That was a tough break, man. That was a tough break.
Yeah,
tough break, man. Best defensive player they got, man. That's tough. That's tough right there, man. That's tough. But yeah, the script ought to be, let's go in, let's get 20, 27, 26, 27 points in the first half, and let's just go to the house.
Yeah.
That's what you ought to be doing.
Yeah,
but I got Detroit winning. They got a good team. Goff is playing, some good football. Amon-Ra St. Brown's playing well. Gibbs and Montgomery got a chance of both backs being over 1,000 yards, which I ain't seen in a long time. They got a chance to do that this year. They got a chance. Let's check something right quick. Let me check something. Here we go. Yeah. They're both. Montgomery's 25 yards short of 1,000, I think. Gibbs is like 60 yards short of 1,000 or something like that. So there's a chance both dudes get 1,000 yards. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen two backs at 1,000 yards in the same season. That just tells you how potent that running game is. But we both got the Lions, man, and they get that number, keep that number 3 spot, and got designs on maybe getting a number 2 spot. But I'm hoping they don't get that. I gotta be biased. Right. All right, so we both got the Lions. Next game here is a game that nobody really cares other than sort of I guess a guy going out in a blaze of glory without whatnot, whatever. So you got the New York Football Jets playing at the New England Patriots. Patriots are favored by about 2 points. Neither team's going to the playoffs. It's out there in the atmosphere that this is Bill Belichick's last game. I don't know. I haven't heard that to be. I got to hear that from Robert Kraft's lips before I believe that. But I do know that he is not happy with how the team has been in the last 3 years and the 4 years since Brady has been gone. They've won the playoffs, and then they've had two very subpar seasons. I think they were 6-11 last year, and they're 4-12 this year, I think. 8 games in 2 years. Not very Belichickian, I would have to say. So that would be an end of an era. If that's the case. If they're playing at New England, I guess I got the Patriots. Don't really matter. Nobody's going anywhere. No team's going anywhere. All they're doing is packing up their stuff at the end of the season. And they finish. So I got the Patriots, but it don't really matter.
Yeah, man, I'm rooting for the Patriots as well. So, yeah, man, Bill go out on a high note. Pretty sure he'll still coach somewhere next year, but I mean that's a legendary coach and a legendary era going on up there. So it could end. Not to mention you can never discount how much the Patriots despise the Jets and vice versa. I know it might look like a game, like, oh, they don't care. I think both teams don't care. It may not produce many touchdowns, but from a culture standpoint, man, I really don't see either team just laying down. I'm sure the Jets would love to send Bill out the door with an L.
Oh, yeah.
So,
how many times has Bill stuck it to them? Didn't he stick it to them in the draft this year doing something? Yeah, he looks at any opportunity to stick it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I say I feel like, people might feel like, this game ain't nothing, but I think it's gonna get chippy, man. I think the Jets with their season over, what a way to end it. You know what I mean? Let's send Bill out with an L since we can't make the playoffs. Yeah. So I would think, knowing how much he'd want this game and the Jets understand that, I think we get a nice, chippy, low scoring, petty game out of both.
Probably in the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably in the snow and all that good stuff. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bill, but we'll see, man. I hope he does get that W, go out on a high note.
Right, ride off on the player's shoulders. Probably not. Probably not.
Right into the Commanders' front office. Who knows?
Yeah, that's out there too.
Yeah.
All right. No, I ain't got no more use for this game here, so we're gonna move on. I got nothing else to add to that one. Now you got the Falcons at the Saints, and of course they're the Falcons. This is a game where the Falcons can look at this season and think, man, what might have been. I think they are. I believe they are 7-9.
They are.
If I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they are 7-9, and New Orleans is 8-8. I mentioned those 3 games off the top that I thought were the games I thought that solidified this. I mean, they were in prime position to put themselves in firm playoff positioning. They lost the game to the Minnesota Vikings when Dobbs was there, and there was no way they should have lost that game. They shouldn't have lost to the Chicago Bears a couple of weeks ago. Shouldn't have lost to the Titans about 6 weeks ago, 5, 6 weeks ago when they were leading the division. And they shouldn't have lost to the Carolina Panthers like week before. I mean, like the list goes on and on. Teams that they were more talented than, they found themselves losing. So it's like they could look back on this season like, dang, what might have been? We could have easily have had like 10 wins. We could easily be 10-6 right now, and have an opportunity to do some things, right? And so they're playing the Saints. The Saints, same thing. I think they lost some games they had no business losing. I think at the beginning of the season, you and I talked, and we both kind of agreed. We thought that the Saints were probably the most talented team in this division. We thought they had a veteran quarterback. We thought they had good skill position players with Alvin Kamara when he comes off of his suspension. But they also had Jamal Williams that they got from the Lions, and they also had Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. This is before he went on IR. I mean, they just had good players. You got Tyson Hill, who's basically a Swiss Army knife. Plug him in anywhere. So you look at it, I mean, they're more talented than any team in this division, and they kind of bumbled and stumbled their way through the season. But here they are at 8-8, and if they could just get a win over the Falcons, they could be 9-8 and possibly could find themselves in the playoffs, and all the ills of the season could be erased with this win. Or the Falcons could ruin it for them and send them home with this win at New Orleans. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know with this game. I really don't. Derek Carr has been underwhelming. He's got 3,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's missed 2 or 3 games with injuries and different things. Chris Olave's turned in a pretty good season, 84 catches for 1,000 yards, which was not a lot of yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, 700 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. Really, this just nothing really over the top when you would have thought they would have had much more success than that. I would like to pick the Saints, but I have the feeling that they'll just disappoint me again if I do, because they've disappointed me all season. And the Falcons have disappointed me all season. So this is like the game of disappointment. Who is going to disappoint the others? They're going to disappoint the most. Saints are favored by, 2, 3, which is basically a toss-up because the home team gets 3 points. I guess I go with New Orleans, but I bet you're taking Atlanta.
I am taking Atlanta, man, because I don't discount or underestimate the rivalry between these two teams.
And they don't like each other. These two communities don't like each other. We ain't talking about the teams. I'm telling them teams, they be bros with each other. Them two communities hate each other. I'm telling you they do.
Yeah. There's just a lot of bad blood, man, with this game. So with actual stakes being attached to it as well, I was kind of surprised that this game, they didn't consider this game to be played like today instead of that, Steelers Ravens. Yeah. Just because the Falcons, the level of petty that's going to be involved, the Falcons would love to. Their shots of going to the playoffs are very slim, although mathematically there's a shot. But the idea that they can go into New Orleans and ruin their season, that's like winning a Super Bowl for the Falcons.
Of course.
I think they will empty the clip, so to speak, man. They just the Falcons are gonna come out here and they've become this team. It's kind of like the Chargers or the Raiders of past. It's like you don't know what to expect. They're probably gonna disappoint you. And out of nowhere, they just do something you didn't see coming. Right. That's like the identity of these Falcons, man. So I think they go into New Orleans and just mess around and win, man. And they're gonna love every second of it. So
I'm not mad at that pick. Like I said, it will be just like you said. It's so petty for the Falcons to open the clip, run plays. They ain't played run all season. Oh yeah, they're gonna spam Kyle Pitts, who never caught more than 3 passes in the season this year.
Yeah,
and got teams wondering why. Dang, they don't like Kyle Pitts. Can we get him up off of y'all? Because we know how to use him.
Right.
And that my team being one of them, they have inquired about him because they're like, apparently y'all don't like him. Then will be just a game. The Arthur Smith were like, yeah, we're gonna get Kyle Pitts like 9 catches, like 162 yards and 3 touchdowns. We gonna do that, man. And no, man, we can't. But I got New Orleans, but I ain't mad at your pick at all, man. I am not mad at your pick. So we're gonna see with them. That one might be an entertaining game to watch.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So after that, we got the Jaguars at the Titans. That's gonna be, I think that's the last 12 o'clock game. Another interdivisional game, another game that, where one team kind of ruin it for the other teams. I don't know if the Jaguars, can they miss the playoffs altogether if they lose?
Well, no, they can. If they lose, they definitely lose out on the division. If they lose, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because they are 9-7. So all 3 teams was 9-7, which I think is interesting. And the Titans are 5-11. So yeah, the Titans would like nothing more. You talking about petty? You don't think they would like to run? And I know that would mess you up because, man, now y'all just ruining y'all draft stock. What you doing? You guys doing, man? Y'all ready to put yourself out of Marvin Harrison Jr.? What y'all doing?
Yeah, they already got one of those on the board, man. So I just think the Jaguars are playing for something to the point where I don't see him dropping the ball, man.
Let's see. Let's look at the injury report here because I know Trevor Lawrence was a sort of a he's questionable. He's listed on the injury report. Yeah. Christian Kirk questionable. Zay Jones questionable. Titans. Will Levis is questionable. He'll probably play. They ain't got nothing to play for. I would throw Malik Willis in there so daggum fast. Guarantee you're not winning. Yeah, because we talked about this before. Players don't tank. It's organizations that tank. They'll put a player that has no business in them and it just don't have the capacity to play at the position that they're putting them in. But they're gonna give it their all. They're not gonna drop a pass on purpose. They're not gonna miss that open read on purpose. They're not gonna fumble on purpose. It's just the thing was too big for them to be in there, and the people who put them in position knew that. That's the whole purpose. They're tanking, the players not. So don't think the players are tanking. Players always are playing at full capacity because nobody wants to put bad film on tape because you're always playing for your next gig. So, that being said, I guess I got Jaguars. I don't think it's going to be a runaway. I think the Titans make a game of it. Depending on who's playing. Now, if they start Malik Willis, all bets is off. It's going to be a whitewash because we don't even know if he can throw a forward pass or not. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville, and I think they'll go to 10-7, and I think that will go with Houston to be both 10-7. And I don't know which makes which one the division champ and which one the 6th playoff position. I don't know how that works. I don't know. Can they both get in the playoffs? Can all 3 get
at 10-7? Not all 3, maybe, but
2. Because
2 of them will get in for sure.
Right. Because the Buffalo loser might be in that. The Buffalo Miami loser. We'll get to that game here in a minute. Might be in there. And man, don't be too upset, man. It ain't like Marvin Harrison's the only receiver. That Washington team got a receiver too, dude. Yeah, he ain't Marvin Harrison, but he all right now. He all right. Florida State got a receiver too.
Yeah, man, this guy's on the board, man.
Yeah. But I know Marvin is special. He's special. He's special.
Yes.
He's generational. He's Justin Jefferson, basically. You know, he's Justin Jefferson. He's basically one of them type of dudes. So yeah. But we both got the Jaguars. You do got the Jaguars, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Picking against his own team, man. Oh, the horror. The horror.
Man.
All right. 3:00 games. We got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Arizona to play the Arizona Cardinals. Seahawks have somewhat of a slight chance to sneak into the playoffs. Some things have to happen. I think. Well, let's see. I think that the Seahawks are. I want to say they're 8-8, so they would have to win, and then I think Green Bay would have to lose. I think they're both 8-8, but I think maybe that Green Bay may have a better something kind of record than them or something or another. But I know they'd have to win because that loss last week to the Steelers hurt them. They really needed that win. That was a loss. And I think my man fumbled late in that game. That's what sealed. That's what put dirt on them in that win because they really was prized to win that game. And I think my boy fumbled that game in that game. The quarterback, what's his name?
Geno.
Yeah, huh?
Geno.
Yeah, Geno Smith. He fumbled late in that game. They really could have won that game, but got to make the plays when they're there to be made, man. So they play in Arizona. Arizona got them an upset stunner win, the number one stunner win last week, going into Philly and stunning the Eagles. They like nothing more than to continue that trend by hosting the Seahawks and stunning them. Oh no, this is an interesting game. Seahawks are favored by um, by 3. I guess I got Seattle. Let's see here. The Steelers get in by loss, Jaguars losing, and or Buffalo losing. Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess I got Seattle, but I mean, I would not be surprised if Arizona spring the upset because it's like they got nothing to lose. They playing with house money. Kyler Murray's finding his legs. They can run the football. They found the Eagles found that out last week. Man, James Conner can run that thing, man. And I got the Seahawks because I think they need to win. But the Arizona Cardinals, man, are brash enough to go to win that game. But I got Seahawks, but I would not be surprised if Arizona won that.
Arizona's at home.
Yeah, they're playing in Arizona. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like Arizona's kind of want to stay up there near that Marvin Harrison sweepstakes. So I'll go Seattle.
You go Seattle. What is they? I think, like I said, they are 4-12. So right now, we know that the Bears got the first pick because they got Carolina's pick. I think they're 2-14. I think the Washington Commanders or the New England Patriots have the second pick, depending on whoever wins. They got the third pick, and whoever loses gets the second pick. And then I think the Titans, if they got 5 wins. So yeah, they're out of
So, they're out of it, man.
Yeah, so they would be but see, some of them other teams you got to figure out they may want a quarterback though. The Bears may want a quarterback. I mean, Justin's playing some good football right now, but they may want a quarterback because I know after next year they'll have to pay him. So that's something they may be on their radar. And I know we ain't even talking about that game yet, but and we kind of digressing, but yeah. So and I know Arizona probably not trying to get no quarterback, so they will. That's who your competition would be. They would be your competition. Trying trying to think who else would be your competition. I think Washington's probably trying to get a quarterback, so I don't think they'd be your competition. So I mean, you still can get in those 3 receivers you want. I think you can.
There'll be a good receiver there. Marvin is off the table, man. That's over with. I actually think it's a great chance Marvin is going number 1 in this draft. So
you think the Bears take him though?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even if they don't and they, trade out of that spot, he won't last past the 3rd pick. So yeah. That's about it for that.
But here's the thing, though. You think New England's taking him, though? New England would take Marvin Harrison? Don't you think they want a quarterback too?
Possibly, man. But I just think
they are so bereft at the skill position position players. They would have to take Marvin Harrison if his gift wrap sitting there for New England for big.
I just don't.
They'd have to take him.
I don't see a team passing on Marvin. I should say. I just don't see that happening. So I think Caleb and Washington is pretty much locked in and married to each other. Should be that 2nd pick. So
because he's a DMV. He's a DMV guy. So I can see that. But anyway, back to this game. We both got Seattle winning that one. Like you said, the Cardinals probably let's slide on back, and then we can keep this 3rd pick or whatever, 4th pick, so we can still stay in the Marvin Harrison sweepstakes or whatever. So now this next game becomes very spicy, which the game we just alluded to is the Bears at the Packers. Look, the Packers got everything to play for because if they win, I think they secure themselves a playoff spot. They're 8-8. They can move to 9-8, and I think they hold tiebreaker advantages over Seattle and the Rams. If the Rams lose tomorrow because they beat the Rams, I think they may have beaten Seattle too, if I'm not mistaken, or they have some sort of tiebreaker advantage to them. It's going to be an interesting game because the Bears are really just trying to see how good they can be, how good they can finish, because it doesn't matter to them because they got the 1st pick regardless. So we can just do whatever we want to do, right? And they've won a lot of games. They're 7-9. If they win this, they'd be 8-9. Nobody at the beginning of the season would ever thought the Bears would win 8 games. Yeah, 8 games over 2 seasons. Nobody would thought they would be 8-9. And then Justin Fields is playing some good football. He's making some good decisions. He's running the ball when he needs to. He's not bailing at the first sign of trouble. And then when he does run, he's hard to bring down. He's so quick, and he's bigger and stronger than you think he is. And he's finding DJ Moore and Delroy Mooney. And they got some nice backs, Deontay Foreman, Khalil Herbert. And then they got the guy, I think his name is Rashad Johnson, who backed up. So they got the guy that came before Bijan Robinson and Deontay Foreman. And then they got the guy that backed up Bijan Robinson and Rashad Johnson. I thought that was kind of interesting. Not just being information and stuff. But anywho, I don't know, man. Something tell me the Bears has got something for them, man. Defense is playing well. Brisker and what's the cornerback's name that made the Pro Bowl?
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. I think the Bears gonna spring the upset, and they ain't really an upset. I think the Bears had some things different earlier. I think they could be playing for a playoff spot. That's how well I think they've been playing this year. I got the Bears, man.
I agree. I got the Bears, man, all the way. I like everything you said. I agree with those sentiments. They're hot right now.
Yeah.
And like you said, they're past the point of just mailing in the season, and I think they're going to want to play spoiler to a rival. So this is another case of a team that can play spoiler, and I expect them to come out and just, do their best to, upset the apple cart, man.
Yeah, I think we underestimate the level of pettiness that a lot of these organizations have when it comes to other teams. When you're talking about like the Falcons and the Saints, the Bears and the Packers can't stand one another. It's like they would love to stick it because the Bears love to make it where the Packers don't make the playoffs. So all that, Aaron Rodgers, we own you. I own residents here. I own y'all. I own y'all. They want that back. They want to get back at that. They do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I heard in the, they showed the earlier game they played. I think it was like the first game of the season this year. So it's interesting. They played in the first game and in the last game. I think that's very interesting. That Justin Fields and Jordan Love are like boys. I did not know that. They got the same agent. I did not know that. They practice and work out together. I did not know that. So, yeah, Justin would love to stick it to his boy. Like, yeah, we got y'all this year. We got y'all when y'all was trying to get to the playoffs. So don't let it be not said that these players ain't petty. Like, yeah, so they can have something to stick at somebody when they got, when they arguing and when they talking and whatnot. Yeah, we got y'all, man. So, yeah, we both got the Bears winning that game. Which should be a very entertaining game because the Packers are not a bad team. Because I'm sort of concerned if they get in the playoffs because they got a good running attack, man. That's the thing I'm kind of concerned about. They know how to run the football. They got two dudes. They got two sledgehammers back there that but maybe it won't even come to that. Maybe it won't even come to that. So we both got the Bears. Like I said, Packers favored by a touchdown, about a field goal, but we both got the Bears bringing the upset. So we got the Chiefs at the Chargers. Chargers really aren't trying to tank. They are, they starting quarterback got hurt a couple of weeks ago, so they're playing Eastern Stick. And even though I'm not seeing it on the injury report, which I'm looking at right now. I know Trent McDuffie, that's the all-world cornerback. He's not playing. Well, he's questionable. Karlaftis, defensive end, he's questionable. A lot of guys questionable. Nick Bolton. I don't see Patrick Mahomes on here. Maybe that's like a little I know Donovan Smith is out. He's one of the tackles. He's out. I know there's like a little sleight of hand that they do or whatever. But I had heard that I'm not. Is it Chad Henning? That's who's gonna start. Instead of which I would have thought that they would try to get that next spot, move up to 11-6, because they're 10-6 right now. I don't know. I gotta see more than that. And like I said, the Chargers are starting Eastern Stick. I was looking at their Joey Bosa is out. Justin Hollins, Tanner Muse. Nobody, like I said, they're not putting all the guys that's not playing on here. I don't really know about this when they're playing at the Chargers. I don't know. The Chargers are favored by 3.5, so you kind of maybe think that Vegas knows something that we don't. I guess I'd go with the Chargers. I don't know, man. If they play Patrick Mahomes, then all bets is off. I'm just not knowing. And like I said, Vegas obviously knows something for the Chargers to be favored by 3.5. They obviously know something. So that's why I guess I go with the Chargers. But normally I'm taking the Chiefs all day, every day. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not picking the Chargers to win anything.
Goodness, man.
Come
on, man.
I'll definitely pick the Chiefs, led by Chad Henne. Yeah. Give me the Chiefs, man. Give me the Chiefs backups.
These backups. All right, I'm switching too. I'm going with the Chiefs too. I'm going against conventional wisdom. I'm changing my pick because I usually roll with the Chiefs when they just not playing well right now. That's why I was like, yeah, hey, they not the Chiefs this year, but they might be good enough to win that one. So we'll see. All right, so we both got the Chiefs in that one. Chiefs, Chargers favored by 3.5. Now we got the Broncos at your wacky Raiders. Raiders are mathematically eliminated last week. Broncos the week before. I have to say this, and I'm not getting on a rant here, but I like to rant about stuff. That's cool. That's why my thing is Fred's rants, because I rant. The Broncos missing the playoffs to me is poetic justice, man. To me, because you can call Russell Wilson the corniest dude ever since Del Monte. They make corn. Okay. They make corn in a can. They make canned corn. Okay. He is as corny as Del Monte, right? That being said, man, you cannot berate that dude on the sideline the way he got berated. I do not care. That dude got skins on the wall. That dude is a veteran. That dude is a Super Bowl champion. That dude is a veteran quarterback that's deserving of respect. You don't do that to him. I had issues with that. I started to do a whole video on that. I'm like, Sean Payton, who you think you are talking to him, doing that to him? Now, maybe he did call an audible and did something like that. Yeah, that's Russell Wilson. That's not Easton Stick. Okay, that's not what's the dude's name? That's not Tyson Bagent. Okay, that's Russell freaking Wilson. Okay, and as corny as you think he might be, that dude a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback. What the heck are you doing? The undress him in public like that, like he's a freaking free agent rookie quarterback. I had a problem with that, man. I really did. I had a problem with that, man. I like you can't do that to him. And I ain't a Russell Wilson fan. I'm just saying that says you just don't do that. There's certain things you just don't do. You just don't do that, man. And I think it's poetic justice. They lost to the Patriots. I'm like, yeah, you got y'all butt whooped. Y'all got whooped. And they're gonna lose tomorrow to the Raiders. Raiders favored by 3. Raiders win. That's got what you got, TK. I'm done.
Man, Raiders all the way. Raiders all the way.
Done with that, man. Yeah, I was outdone. What did you think about that, man? I was done. I was outdone by that.
I mean, yeah, it's very whack of that front office to pay him that money and then, attempt to backdoor him after they did it. It's just kind of like that's goofy behavior. Certainly, someone with the accomplishments and resume of Russ doesn't deserve that. Really, no one does, but especially not players who have accomplished what he has. Despite whatever his era as a Bronco has been. It's just. Y'all brought him in, man. Y'all made, if you want to call it that, a mistake. Y'all made the mistake of bringing him in and, championing him and looking at him as a guy that can lead your franchise and then doubling down on that and giving him a bigger contract. Y'all did that. So stand on it, man. That's what I would say. Just stand on it because that's what you got to do at this point. And the fact that they're not doing that or showing they're not willing to is just like, it gets messy, man. It gets messy. It gets lame. It's just kind of where the Broncos are at. Won too many games to really be up near the top of the board to get one of those quarterbacks. Possibly, we'll see. But I wasn't a fan of what happened, despite the fact that it's funny because Russell Wilson and Russell Westbrook are kind of like the same guy to me. not in the sense of like the corny, aspect of it, just in the sense that these are highly accomplished guys in their particular craft who have been able to do amazing things in the past, and they get in this situation where they do have, you know, a bad era somewhere. Russ as a Laker was not good, and Russ as a Bronco wasn't good. You know, but at the same time, man, playing with a man's don't play with a man's chicken, man. That's not cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. Now, as an organization, we're gonna move on to the next thing. As an organization, I'm okay if you say, okay, I don't want to pay you, I don't want to play you because I don't want you to get hurt, so we can trade you. I'm cool with that because that you well within your rights to do that. Okay, but to ask that dude to like, oh, we want you to give it not like, no, I earned this. I'm not giving you the money back. I'm not. What are you doing? I'm not doing that. And then, like I said, whatever happened in the transaction of that game, for him to like be like talking to him like he's a freaking sixth grader, I was like, what? Like, okay, Sean, you do know you got one Super Bowl win that's like him, right? You do know that, right? Okay. And I'm sure there were some plays Drew Brees didn't do. I ain't see you castigating Drew Brees on the sideline. So no, man,
yeah,
that is not okay to me, man. That is not okay.
it's
Not
just
okay.
not a good look for them, man. It's not a good look on many levels. Their front
No.
office looks Bush League. Their coach clearly is, taking a hostile approach to his own quarterback, which
Yeah.
somebody's going to have to replace this offseason. So that's not a glowing endorsement for the next guy.
Right. Right.
Um, I don't got too much else to say about the Broncos, man. But go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Go Raiders. I'm right with you on that one. I'm in the boat with you on that one, man. Go Raiders. All right. Now the game started to get interesting. Now you got the Eagles at the Giants. We know the Eagles took a L last week, which I didn't think was possible. That Arizona came in there 21-6, and I'm like, they're gonna do what they do. Before I could get home from church, it's 21 apiece. I'm like, oh, okay, but game on, game on. And then the Eagles got them a touchdown, 21-7, 28-21. I'm like, okay, it's all right. And then the Cardinals came right down, got a touchdown. Then I thought it was dumb of them to try to kick an onside kick with 5.5 minutes to go. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I'm trying to do that and get them field position. And they did that, and that allowed them to kick a field goal because they didn't move the ball, kick a field goal, and they set up like a 85-yard drive, a 75-yard drive with 2.5, 3 minutes to go. And they went down, 2-yard score by James Conner with like 20 seconds left. Ball game. Booyah. 35-31. And I'm sitting there like stunned. I'm like, oh, the Cowboys got a Christmas gift. Then 6 days later, oh my God, we got a gift. So now, do the Eagles right the ship? Because they're playing the Giants, which could possibly be the worst team in the NFL. They don't have a Kyler Murray playing quarterback. That's a wizard back there. They don't have a James Conner. Although, I don't know, Saquon Barkley, is he still playing? Is he hurt? Is he out?
He should be playing, man.
Yeah, it doesn't say one way or the other here. No, Darius Slay is out. DeAndre Swift is questionable. Devontae Smith is out. Ouch. Ouch.
It's a big loss.
Yeah, it's a big loss. Because a lot of people don't know this, but the Eagles pretty much run a one-read offense. And people don't want to say that, but they do. So you got two guys. You got one dude. Can't they just load up on AJ Brown? He's still gonna make some catches though, because he's like that. But that's dicey, man. I still think they beat the Giants though, because the Giants are the Giants. I got the Eagles, man. They're the Giants. I got the Giants, man. Tommy Soprano. I'm sorry. Uh, Tommy DeVito is not beating them, man. There's probably
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be Tyrod Taylor. It's probably gonna be Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor that's in. So
You know what, man?
I don't know, man. That's
I
tricky.
don't know. Tyrod Taylor looked even good when they beat them a couple of weeks ago. He was. It wasn't because of him.
It's tricky, man.
That's real tricky.
Eagles are disoriented right now, man.
Yeah, they kind of I just can't see them being that disoriented, man. I got the Eagles winning. Boy, would I be yucking it up, man, if the Eagles lost. Too bad that game couldn't be at 12 o'clock. Because if they could do that, they could just put Dak on ice. Hey, you know what, man? You sit this game out, buddy. Sit this game out, buddy.
Yeah.
That way we can get rested, whatever. Get everybody rested. But I got the Eagles, but I ain't sure. I didn't know Devontae Smith was out. I didn't know that. I had no idea. That's a big loss.
Yes.
Wow. So yeah. So who you got?
Oh boy. I don't want to pick the Eagles, to be honest, man.
Don't want to pick them?
I don't. Well, in the sense that because I just think it's a good chance they could fumble this game and lose, man. So even if I'm picking them, it's like I'm just picking them, but I'm worried about them. So I picked the Eagles just to say I picked the Eagles, but them going out there and fumbling that game tomorrow would not shock me. Man. It really wouldn't. They got some serious issues, man. It's unfortunate because 6-7 weeks ago, couldn't tell me they weren't second best team in the league behind the Niners. Fast forward to today,
well, it's a long season. That's what I tell everybody. That's a long season, man. And it ain't how you start, it's how you finish too. It's you right, man. Hey, you right. About a month ago, I would be like, yeah, man, I don't want to see them. But right now, they kind of taking in water right now, man. That boat's taking in water, man, and they bailing it out with pails, but it's coming in faster than they can get it out, man.
Yeah, I think their issues is not just scheme either. I think they got like chemistry issues. Like internal issues, and it's like this is the worst time to have that type of stuff going on.
Right. You're so true. You're so right with that. So with that being said, can I get a pick from you, or you just gonna mail this one in? You just gonna say, I'm gonna abstain. You gonna abstain, man?
I'm not. I think the Giants gonna try to win.
Oh, I know the Giants are gonna try to win because they petty too. I know they're gonna try to win.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
They're at home. It's funny because I think the pride of the team would want to win, but the fan base would actually want them to lose for draft purposes.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, man, I'm picking the Eagles, but it's just to pick them. I'm not feeling the Eagles right now.
You're not saying it with a lot of conviction, in other words, huh?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So we both were saying the same thing, boy. I'll be giggling like a schoolgirl if the Giants pull this up. So I'll be giggling.
Oh yeah, I'd make Cowboys day.
Yeah.
The whole fan base day.
Yeah. Love to see that, but yeah, I just can't see them falling that far from grace. I just don't see it, man.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of my enemy is my friend today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we both got the Eagles without a whole lot of conviction, either of us, but we picking them. All right, we got the Rams at the 49ers. This one's an odd game. This is an odd bird. because you mentioned something to me in our pre show we talked this morning about.
Mhm.
Y'all may not know we prepped the show. We don't just come on and start talking. Y'all think we just come on this. All right, let's just go. No, we prepped the show. We already kind of have ideas what we want to talk about and how we want to phrase stuff, how stuff want to be. So something you brought to me is like, you thought it was sort of like weird that the Rams wouldn't be trying to win that game. Now I know Matthew Stafford has some nagging little injuries that they want to get healed up, but they could certainly improve their seeding by winning and going 10-7 in a game that the 49ers obviously are not trying to win. Okay? Because they're starting are they starting Blaine Gabbert?
I believe so, yeah. I mean that most of their
They're not even starting old boy.
Who's that?
The dude they got from Carolina Panthers.
C-Mac.
Huh? No. The quarterback. The Giants.
Darnold.
Yes. Yeah, I said they ain't even starting Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Hey, come on now. If they got, I think it's Blaine Gabbert. I got to look and see. They don't tell you who the starters will be. But it still got Stafford and other stuff in there, and it says here that Kyron Williams is doubtful; he won't play.
That's a big loss. Well, yeah.
Yeah, man. Stafford is doubtful. I mean, he probably won't play. Joe Noteboom, who's probably their best offensive lineman, he probably won't play.
Yeah,
when they say doubtful, that means they're probably not playing.
Yeah, nah. They definitely not trying to win this game.
Sure. And Ernest Jones, a linebacker, one of their better linebackers. Cooper Kupp is doubtful. Yeah, they're not trying to win this game, dude. Wow. Cooper Kupp is doubtful. Wow. Cooper Kupp, Noteboom, Ernest Jones, Matthew Stafford, and Kyron Williams.
Yeah, they mailed it in, man. So I guess they content with sitting at dropping down to 7 and just sitting there, just taking what come with it. A trip to Dallas.
The only player that the 49ers is listed as completely out is Jawan Jennings, he's like a third wide receiver or whatever. They're not listing Purdy or Debo or Trent Williams. And Trent Williams has had some injuries too. He got injured at Baltimore game. And
I think the reason why is just because, and that's kind of where the Ravens were at today. This really isn't your bye week. Your bye week is next week. So do the whole rest versus rest thing. It's like, let's get our guys at least a little bit of run in this game. Because they're gonna have a week off next week, and we don't want guys to have 2 weeks off and then come back and real rusty. We're trying to win a high intensity playoff game. So maybe the starters come in for a little while, get a touchdown or two, and get up out of there. Maybe that's the theory or the theme.
Yeah, I can see that. If you remember, man, back in, I think it was 2019, I think that's one of the things that hurt the Ravens, because they were completely out of rhythm when they played in that first game. They totally out of rhythm. They'd been off 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Young team. They play they play a different way than everybody else plays. And it was necessary that they kind of stayed on schedule, stayed on, and they were kind of lost in that game. I remember when they were playing your boy. They playing the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
It was totally off.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, and so I don't know, but maybe the 49ers will do what you're saying. Maybe play Purdy for a quarter, play Debo and them guys for a quarter, and we'll see. But the Rams ain't playing nobody, so it seems. So okay, because I know they got advantages over Seattle, and probably they don't have it over Green Bay, because Green Bay beat them. So they would be number 7 if they lost, at the very least. And so that means they will be playing us, right?
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean,
because if they get to 6, they'll be playing Detroit.
Yeah.
Which I think will be a good pick, because I think that would be narrative city, man. Matthew Stafford goes back to Detroit, the place where he spent his first 12 seasons to try to get a playoff win, and which would force the Cowboys to play the Packers. And it's Mike McCarthy playing his team where he won his first Super Bowl, and with a chance to knock them out of the playoffs. They want these stories, but
it's not a bad. Not a bad.
I guess I got the 49ers, man. I guess because it's looking like that's the way the tea leaves are going that way. It's got the 49ers a favorite by 4. So what do you say?
I'll tell you what, man. Cowboys players, fans, organization, you got to finish your food and focus on your task tomorrow. But once that's done and you lock in that 2 seed and look across and you see the Rams, I hope all of you take it very personal that they went in here and tanked this game and said, you know what, let's go to Dallas. So I'm going to pick the 49ers and assume that's what the Rams have decided. And, yeah, man. Saying a lot without saying anything.
Saying a lot without saying anything. Saying a mouthful without even opening your mouth, huh? Saying.
That's what it looks like.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that go. Anyway, speaking of the Cowboys, that's the last game of our thing. Of course, I always leave the Cowboys game for last in whatever spot they're in because I'm a fan. I still try to be reasonable though. You got the Cowboys traveling to FedEx Field to take on the Washington Commanders. Cowboys are favored by 13. I did a video about a couple of hours ago where I talked about this game where I said the Cowboys need to take this game serious. They need to go into this game not looking at it as a game where you're playing a team that's overmatched, because really the Commanders are kind of tanking because they've told Jonathan Allen, man, dude, you got a knee, yeah, you ain't playing today. They told Kendall Fuller, you ain't playing. They told one of the other corners, yeah, you're not playing. But it did tell Sam Howell he is playing. And so Sam Howell is like, oh, you want me to kind of play down so you can replace me with Caleb Williams. I wish I might. I'm going to go out there and throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns. And how you like me now? Of course he's going to try to do that because players don't tank. Organizations tank. Okay? Mm-hmm. You're not finna tell me that Brian Robinson's going to go out there and try to rush for 25 yards and fumble twice. He's going to try to run it for 100 yards because, it's just, players don't tank, But the Cowboys got to take this game seriously because, like I said in my videos, the last thing I said, if you don't win this game and go down there and win in convincing fashion, they, meaning the media, they, meaning the people in the, in all of the social circles, will never take you seriously. Ever. Will never, ever take you seriously. Okay? You'll always be, well, you won 12 games, 10 games, it don't matter because you're gonna wet the bed in the playoffs. Or you'll wet the bed in the game that matters. You'll wet the bed so you gotta go in there, and I don't care what's going on. You can't miss that block. You can't miss that tackle. You can't miss that throw. You can't miss that hole. You gotta do everything you're supposed to do and win that game. You just got to. And you gotta win it. You can't win it, 22-21. Okay? Because that will be just like, yeah, you snuck by a team that really wasn't even trying to win. That's what'll be happening. So I got the Cowboys winning, but boy, if they go in there and wet the bed in that game, boy, they'll never hit the end of it, and they'll never be taken seriously by nobody in the media ever again. So, Micah, if you're listening to that, Dak, if you're listening to that, understand that they will never respect you or take you seriously if you wet the bed here. Okay, I got the Cowboys winning, and securing that number 2 seed. But if they don't, pretty much just sealed your fate for the rest of the season. Pretty much just sealed it. I got the Cowboys, but they better take care of their business. I'm done.
I don't have to say anything else, man. It's Cowboys, man. They're not losing this game. No way. No way losing this game, man.
Okay.
Oh man, it's a smokehouse in the DMV tomorrow, man. It's a smokehouse.
Okay.
We'll get ugly.
You say that. You say that. But I done seen them boys go up in games they really supposed to win, and they guys will forget blocks and let guys run through. Oh, I thought you had him. I thought that was the hole, and run into the back of his own blockers. I seen dudes drop passes, knock passes up in there, and get them pick six. And lose concentration. I've seen it. Oh, dang. I thought I had help over the top and let a dude get behind him for a 60-yard touchdown. I done seen it happen. Okay.
Oh man, they getting them guys up out of there tomorrow. That ain't gonna be a close one, man.
Okay. I hope you are correct in your assessment of that, and we're gonna see what happens. But I guarantee you, if they do win or lose, I'm gonna come on and I'm gonna talk about it. They lose it, boy. I'm letting them have it with both barrels, and I don't care who don't like it. I'm letting them have it with both barrels. But if they win it and win it the way I want them to win it, where I expect them to win it, like we're in good shape. Have this 2 playoff games, chance to get ourselves in the Eastern Conference Finals, in the NFC Championship game somewhere we ain't been in almost 30 years, and we'll see what happens. All right, bringing up the rear, last game of the 2023 regular season, NBC 7:20, Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo's favored by 2.5. Dolphins coming in there with some injuries and other concerns, as Bradley Chubb, their star linebacker / pass rusher. I think he got like 11 sacks this season, man. He's one of their best players on defense. Actually got played last week when he probably should have been sitting over there with Mike McDaniel, and tore his ACL. Their pass rush is just not the same without him. And then I learned that you mentioned that Tyreek Hill's having some personal things going on with his home and his family. You have to factor in that that those are factors, guys. These aren't Madden characters. That you can just put and they put out there. They put out the same production no matter what. There's circumstances and stuff that you have to realize these are human beings, not human doings. They're human beings and things that happen, and you may not be locked in as you should be due to some unforeseen circumstances that's going on and whatnot. So that being said, normally I would think that Buffalo wouldn't stand a chance playing at Miami because nobody plays well when they go to Miami. It's just too much going on, right? But with that going on, I guess I got the Bills. But man, what could have been? I think this could have been I think that Miami's still going to put forth a good game, but I guess I got the Bills winning it because I just think they've been playing well lately, and I gave them one more loss than I thought they had. They are actually 10-6,
Mm-hmm.
so they could go 11-6 and win the division. I think if they won it, which would relegate the Dolphins to the number 5 or number 6 position or something. The number 6 position, I think, something like that. So if they don't win, but I got Buffalo winning that probably by
which would mean the Dolphins would travel to Kansas City.
Yeah,
you like the storylines. There you go.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill going back to Kansas City. Yeah. That's a good story. What you got?
I got Bills all day on this one, man. The Bills can't lose because by losing it opens them up to potentially miss the playoffs entirely. So nah, man. Bills gonna come out there on a rampage. By the time their game's starting, they'll know everything that's in front of them because everybody's already played, and they'll know exactly what they need out of the win. And they're the healthier, pseudo healthier team. They're definitely the hotter team. And nah, man, the Bills gonna come into Miami in those good weather conditions, and they gonna flex their muscle a little bit on Miami. I think impose they will a little bit. It's a game they need. They need it more than Miami, so to speak. I mean, they both need it, but I just think Miami always feels like a pretender in a way.
Yep.
Where like they're really exciting. They have some of the best skill position speed in the league by far. We know that. And it's just like maybe at what point in the season did you look at them and feel like they can go to the Super Bowl? They could win the AFC. Yeah, has that ever happened this year for you?
I just thought they were one of the better teams in the AFC. That's kind of the way I looked at them. They were one of the better teams in the AFC. I never looked at them like, I think they could beat Kansas City. When I thought Kansas City was like a good team, they're still a good team. They still got Patrick Mahomes, so you still got to give them their respect. But when I thought what they were, I never thought, oh yeah, Miami could challenge them, or if it was. When if Cincinnati was one of those teams, before Burrow got hurt, could they beat Cincinnati? Like, no, they're not better than them. They're not better than them. So I thought they were just one of the group of teams, or you can put Buffalo in there too, because before they had their midseason swoon. Buffalo was regarded one of those teams. Hey, they could go to the Super Bowl. They got Josh Allen. They got a good defense. They got Stephon Diggs. They Gabe Davis and got the tight end Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, James Cooks. They got a good team. So yeah, you never thought of the Dolphins. I never thought of them like that. I thought they were just one of the good teams. So that was just what I thought, But then when they hung 70 on Denver, I was like, good Lord. But they weren't able to sustain that. Okay, so that's the thing about that. They were not able to sustain that. So I don't know. The offense almost seems like it's sort of gimmicky in a way. I do like the multifaceted ability of their offense with the motions and the other things, with the running backs and the speed and the way that they shift and stuff to get them open lanes to run in. I like that. I think that's innovative. But when you ain't got Tyreek Hill, or if Tyreek Hill ain't 100%, that's not the same offense. It's just not. So,
and I just think I think the gimmicky aspect is sustainable. At least the way Mike McDaniels does it, it's a sustainable gimmicky. Like, they could do it year in and year out just fine. It's just I just think in spots where I've seen them play in games where it's like they need to win this, they don't win it. So it's like, yeah. I think Buffalo. I just say that to say I feel like Buffalo gets the 2 spot. You got a better chance. They've shown in the past they'll go to Kansas City and give them their best shot.
Oh, they ain't scared of Kansas City at all. Not at all.
Buffalo, nah. Buffalo going to Baltimore. I feel like Buffalo's going to give them a better fight than Miami would, in that situation. So,
gee, we saw that last week, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
by more fight. What do you mean by like no fight? Lay up like this with your feet up.
Yeah.
Fetal position.
Yeah. Miami's not one of them teams to me. So They very exciting. I watch them every week. They're very exciting. You know, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's time for the big boys to. This is that time of the year. I don't consider Miami in that circle of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. All right. So we both in agreement. We think Buffalo's got primed to go in there and get that win, and Miami be relegated to like some, playoff where they got to go on the road, which I don't think fares well for them either. So now we've done all of those games. Now I got a treat for y'all. Since there's no Monday night game in the NFL, there is, however, a Monday night game at the collegiate level. So I thought it would be fun. We go ahead and pick the CFP National Championship game, which will be played at Glendale's, Houston, Texas, at the I think it's going to be played at Energy Arena. I think that's what they call it, in Houston, Texas. You got the Michigan Wolverines playing the Washington Huskies. Michigan's favored by 4.5. Of course, now I would rather had it been a team wearing crimson playing Washington, but we're not going to even go there.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there. Okay. Can't go by what might have been, going to go by what is. And so Michigan is there. They find themselves there. Harbaugh is there. And I'm sure the NCAA would love them not to be there, but they're there. That's going to make that championship trophy exchange very awkward.
Yeah.
But I got Washington because I love Michael Penix. I love Dylan Johnson. I love that wide receiver. I don't all the time love that offensive coordinator they got. I think sometimes they get smarter than they need to be. But I think he is innovative. And I think they're just going to have way too much offense for Michigan. I got Washington winning that.
I'm with you, man. I'm with Washington, man. I like what Washington has been doing all year. They got that explosive offense, man. Yeah. Let's do it. Washington.
Yep.
Get it done.
Get it done, man. Get the Pac-12 another first championship since USC. USC, that bringing it back to that. That will be what way to close the Pac-12 down and close it out with a champion.
There you
go. Because the Pac-12 is no more after Monday night's game. There is no more Pac-12.
Yeah.
So that I think that would be fitting that they close it down with that right there, and it would rid the NCAA of that awkward CFP championship trophy being exchanged to Jim Harbaugh, and with all the stuff that Jim Harbaugh got going on, they kind of been up underneath him and for different things. Some of the stuff is acceptable, and some of the stuff is like, yeah, y'all kind of picking now. But it is what it is. But I'm hoping that Washington can rid the NCAA of that awkward exchange and just go ahead and just win the thing. And my problem with Washington is when they played Texas the other day, now we talked about this on our pregame, that I thought that they really played themselves when they really could have won that game comfortably. They had a 13-point lead and got a fumble from Texas and had the ball near midfield. They really could just salt the game away as it led this way to the fourth quarter. You up 2 scores. If you do nothing more than kick a field goal, you got a 15-point lead, a 16-point lead. You can cruise. But they started to try to get whipped creamy and get freaking flea flickers and stuff. 3 or 4 or 5 incomplete passes. I'm like, what are y'all doing? They got the ball back and then like 2 minutes left off the clock. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Texas went right down, got a touchdown. I'm like, see what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. That's why you don't do that. You should have handed the ball to Dylan Johnson, let him deal, kept them clocks moving, won that game by like 2 touchdowns and been done with it. But then you had to bite your nails off at the end because Texas had a chance to win the thing in the last throw. And it didn't even have to go that way. Lesson well learned, I hope. But I got Washington winning the CFP and closing the college season out. And as I say all the time, as we close this video, TK, as that season was going on, I talked to my boy Chris, Ryan Chris, who's my college football guru. He was like, "Man, I hate when the seasons be over with, because it's like the season comes, it takes so long to get here, and then when they get here, it be gone before you know it. And it's like, you're gonna get up the next Saturday morning thinking there's gonna be football games, and there ain't gonna be none because the season's over with." And you're like, "Dang, I'm waiting for September, late August and September to come around." And the same thing gonna be when the NFL a month from now. It's gonna be the same thing. We're gonna be picking the Super Bowl, and then the next Sunday when you go to church, whatever, you come home after church, ain't gonna be no games. It'll be over with, and you're gonna be, waiting for training camp to open and that sort of thing. So what we're trying to say is enjoy these things while they're here, because they're gone so quick, and you'll be like, "Dang, where did the season go?" So when we say enjoy your football Sunday, we're saying enjoy that, enjoy the time, enjoy the competition. Because when you blink your eyes one time too many, the season's over and you're like, where it went. So take that from Uncle Fred. I done seen it come and go. But that's our show for the day. TK, any parting remarks?
One last time for the one time, man. Enjoy your football Sunday. I know we will. You do the same. Shout out to Uncle Fred, man, and Uncle Fred Rant's channel for another season in the books, man. Shout out to you. Keep going.
The season in the books, but season's over, but it ain't over for us, because we gonna pick the playoffs too, man. No. You thought? Oh, wait a minute. Y'all thought y'all got rid of us? I know y'all didn't think that. No. We're gonna come back next week and talk about what we missed and what we got this week, and we're gonna pick the playoffs. We're gonna do that. So no, we ain't got rid of us that quick. We coming back next week and do the same. We're gonna do what we've been doing. It's just gonna be in a limited capacity. We ain't gonna have like maybe 2-3 games to pick. We'll do it in like 25-30 minutes, unless TK talk too much. Because we know how much he be talking, right? You know how much of a gabby he is. You know how much he, yeah. How much of a gabber he is. So yeah, me, I'm quiet. I don't say much.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, tune in for next week for our pick'em show. We're picking the playoffs, picking the wild card round, and we'll see what happens. For TK, this is your boy Uncle Fred saying sign off, closing out the regular season of the 2023 NFL season. God bless. We'll catch you guys on the next week.